Good afternoon. My name is Sara, and I'm testifying in my capacity as a licensed professional engineer in the state of Texas, with an undergraduate in petroleum engineering and close to 20 years of relevant professional experience in both geology and petroleum engineering. Also, I have 5 years of experience as a landman and registered with the APL. Now, to be clear, I am in the Texas oil industry. I support the Texas oil industry. In fact, I currently have a drilling rig right now running in the Texas oil industry, running up quite a bill today. However, I'm not for this bill. As we have seen in West Texas, injection of fluids, which, by the way, gas is a fluid, has resulted in all sorts of unintended consequences, including subsurface and surface blowouts, corrosion, pollution of the water table. There's a lake of brine on the surface of the earth, and most recently, earthquakes. CO2 being injected into reservoirs can result in the same issues. CO2 as a gas can migrate. It can form precipitates, and combined with water, it can form an acid that will corrode away casing. It's called carbonic acid, which acts as a barrier to protect aquifers. In fact, it is so corrosive you need specialized pipe to handle it. You do not run standard casing when you have CO2 present. There are obviously other questions about what happens to CO2 after it is left there. Who owns it once a CO2 lease expires? I'm involved in CO2 lease negotiations for another company right now. It's a 50-year lease, but after 50 years, the lease doesn't really address what happens at that point. And obviously, if you're storing something for 50 years, be expected to last millennia, you need to think about that. Also, later on, it could be produced for beneficial use. We mentioned CO2 being used for tertiary recovery. I think a lot of the Eagle Ford, a lot of the Permian is going to have some benefit in that and some shale wells, but we're not quite there yet. And of course, what happens when it enters an existing oil and gas field which is not set up for it? Specifically in West Texas, if you're injecting into a field that has old casing 70 years ago, you're adding corrosive fluids that were not there previously to another operator's well, you can cause issues with that. So absolving companies of all their responsibility and leaving it to state, as this bill does, is not the right answer. We need to address this issue with best practice in engineering, geology, and law. To some extent, this is a new industry. We need a comprehensive task force approach. We are here in Austin with the highest rated petroleum engineering school in the world, of which I am a proud graduate of, and those Texas law grads aren't a far step behind. So ultimately, I think we can do a little bit better, and I welcome any questions you may have.